So I'm going to go. Recording is now in progress. So here we go.
High five.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah, there we go. High five. Hey, so I'll start, I guess. So thank y'all so much for joining. We have some good friends of ours from Virginia. We also have some folks on that are do not want to share their face, which is perfectly fine. Probably from TikTok, from the United States or other countries. We don't.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for jumping on. So again, like you guys, we have sent to you guys is, we've been on this Ketones journey. You guys are both friends with us on Facebook, so you've seen the posts, you've seen the results. For those of you that are friends with us, if you haven't, you've seen us on TikTok. But we really just want to share this experience with as many folks as we can for multiple reasons. Again, I'm on it 60. I think today is day 61, 62. I feel phenomenal. I'm down weight. I'm sleeping better. All the side effects, as we call them, for taking ketones. Stacy, her journey is a little different. She's quitting smoking. She is, with quitting smoking comes gaining weight, comes other habits and things like that. That happens when people quit smoking. She has replaced that bad habit with a good one, which is ketones. She's been able to curb appetite. She's been able to stay, not smoking, a lot of different things, sleep, all those things. So we appreciate you guys jumping on. Bill and Erica are our resident ketones experts. Scotty had the pleasure of meeting them. They flew in from all the way from Wisconsin a couple weeks ago to spend the weekend with us, and we greatly appreciate that. They have become lifelong friends through ketones. I let him drive my new car when he was here. I didn't know who they were. I just talked to him. I'm like, here's the keys to my new car. He didn't wreck it. I figured he had good insurance or I could figure it out. He's fine. We're still friends. He didn't wreck it. But this journey has really put us into a different community of people that have experienced ketones, that are about bettering themselves and bettering their family and our friends, which is why we want to share it. For those of you that are on, obviously, TikTok with us, we're real, we're raw, we're uncut. This is us being real, raw, and uncut, and being, wanted to share this with you. So thank y'all so much for joining. Do you want to say anything? I guess I took all the time. Sorry, Stacy. Anyway, so
those who know us know that that's totally normal.
Yeah. So again, it's going to be open. It's going to be very informative. Feel free to ask questions in chat, ask questions live. Bill and Erica are a wealth of knowledge. They'll share their experience. Stacy and I can share ours, but they've been doing it longer than us. Bill, I'll turn it over. You and Erica. It's all you guys.
Sounds good. Well, hey, awesome TikTok live tonight. Thanks for, we jumped on for a little bit of it. Your followers are simply amazing, totally engaged. It's a lot of fun. We enjoy your TikToks. For everybody who is on the call here tonight, obviously totally informal, like Josh had said. Erica and I have been drinking ketones for about 13 months now. So we do have a nice wealth of knowledge based on our experience and the amazing outcomes of putting your body into ketosis by drinking a drink. We'll also probably have a few other people from our community jumping on. A lot of them are kind of running between jobs and soccer practice and things like that. So hopefully they'll be joining us as well. But like Josh had said, totally informal. Interesting enough, it was June of last year, and Erica and I are in our 40s, totally kind of skating through life. We've got 3 children. COVID had hit. And we started to really, and we kind of embraced the whole COVID thing because it allowed us as a family to just kind of take a pause. We were quarantined, we were all together. We weren't running all over the place to activities and sporting events and all of the things. And it really just allowed us to just take a pause and say, hey, let's start focusing on ourselves. Let's start exercising a little bit more. Let's start, we've done a pretty good job with our diet in terms of how we eat. Erica's an amazing cook. And so we've always done pretty well on that front. But we just use that as an opportunity to really just kind of focus on our health and wellness. And we live in a small community here in Wisconsin, about 8,000 people. And some friends of ours who happen to be 2 decades younger than us, so they're in their 20s, we're in our 40s.
Yeah.
Amazing people, super smart, tons of energy. had come to us and said, hey, we've been kind of following you on social media. It sounds like you guys are really focusing on yourselves and getting after it. Have you ever considered drinking ketones?
Mhm.
And when Erica had mentioned this to me, I'm like, okay, what is that? Like, I don't even know. And I feel kind of naive and a tad uneducated saying that now, but I had no idea what the keto diet was or what ketones were or what it meant to put your body in ketosis. So, but as in anything in life, and they're really good friends, we're like, yeah, we'll try it. Like, it sounds amazing. Better energy, better sleep, better fat loss, like all of the things. I'm like, yeah, we should at least try it. So long story short, we tried it. Like Josh, it was almost immediate. Within 3 or 4 days, like the mental clarity, the brain fog that had lifted. I have a pretty stressful like 9 to 5 job. I say 9 to 5, it's actually more like 6 to 7. And so I really rely on kind of being on top and firing at different levels. And I personally could not believe the mental clarity that I was getting from this drink. So then I said, okay, honey, we went like 3 or 4 days without really telling each other how we felt. That was by design because neither one of us wanted to have one another having an amazing experience and the other not. It's like, well, why is it working for her and not for me, or vice versa?
Yeah.
But about 3 days into it, I kind of looked at her and I said, look, I know that we said we weren't going to share like how we were feeling. Like, when is that time going to be up? Because I got some things I got to talk to you about. She's like, no, I'm ready. Like, how are you feeling? I'm like, I don't know what's in here. We got to figure it out, but I feel amazing. She said, yeah, Bill, me too. She's like, let's get Maddie on the phone. So our friend Maddie and Brendan came over and really just educated us around putting your body into ketosis. So a lot of the people on your TikTok know about the keto diet. Some of your amazing followers have had a tremendous amount of success on the keto diet. The keto diet, scientifically, as far as I can tell, is probably
the hierarchy of diets.
It's the superior diet. Like, if you can legitimately do the keto diet and stick to counting macros and stick to the regime of high good fats, high protein, low carb, low sugar, and get your body into nutritional ketosis, which, by the way, for your first time, if you switch to the keto diet, could probably take up to 14 days to actually get to that level. And if you can sustain that diet and not have
like cheat days or
no cheat, like you literally have to just eat perfect. If you do that, you literally put your body into ketosis. What this does, scientifically, backed by 9 US patents, like the smart people figured it out, is how to match what your liver makes and put it into a supplement that you mix with water and drink. You drink this within 45 minutes, you're in ketosis.
Yeah.
And you're in ketosis for 4 to 6 hours. So, and what I always say is,
Hey, Bill, I think there's a couple people that just texted that said they needed to get in. If you can let them in, I don't want them to miss what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't see anybody that's on the.
Nobody?
Yeah.
They just said it's spinning.
It's spinning.
And saying waiting.
All right, well,
Go ahead. I'll keep trying on my end. You're good. Keep going.
Just keep trying. As soon as they come in, I get like a little knock and I just let them in. So I mean, the amazing thing is that this drink legitimately puts you in that superior state. Josh and Stacy talk about the 10-day challenge. The 10-day challenge is by far the best and easiest way to jump in to try ketones. It's a $99 box. They call it the 10-day challenge because, like I had mentioned to you, the drink will put you into ketosis for 4 to 6 hours. Well, let's try to get into ketosis for like 8 to 12 hours a day, right? Like, why wouldn't you? But the reality is, when you first start, you really just need to do 1 a day. So I always say it's the 10-day challenge, but it's really a 20-day experience. You don't need to do 2 a day right out of the gate. In fact, I would suggest that not everybody do that. Like, just literally just kind of crawl, walk, and then run. But eventually your body gets so used to just being fueled by ketones versus fueled by carbs and sugar that you will gravitate towards having at least 2 a day. I'll be honest with you, we've been doing this now for 13 months. Prove It, the organization, which is a community-based marketing organization, has an amazing customer referral program. They have an amazing customer loyalty program where you legitimately can set yourself up so that you're earning ketones for free. And so we will generally consume at least 2 a day. I would say probably more days than not, we would consume 3. But we're able to do that mostly because it's not a financial strain on our budget, because we get a lot of ketones at no charge. So it's not like, oh, we have to ration our ketones. The way the program is set up, you can legitimately set yourself up where inventory is not an issue. And so we just choose to put our bodies into ketosis for the majority of the day, just because of how it makes us feel.
And sharing it is almost, or excuse me, not sharing it is almost near impossible. And we were taken back by this, because there are things out there, right? Like, look on Facebook, look on social media, turn to your neighbor, your cousin, your sister. Somebody's doing a thing. Somebody's sharing a thing, selling a thing, using a thing, trying a thing, doing a diet, drinking a shake, whatever it might be. And so Bill and I were like, oh, jeepers, we're gonna do a thing. And, you know, like almost like the concept of doing a thing was stopping us more than anything, because we didn't want to do a thing, and we didn't want to be the people that were talking about a thing. Like, I'm literally just being real. And like Bill said, we were 4 or 5 days in, and I mean, like, sleep right next to him, grab the coffee mug right next to his coffee mug, like all the things. And we weren't talking about this because I had to know, like, in my mind and in my heart, like, this was a real thing. And here's the real truth of it. The only reason we tried this was because we respected and trusted the people that were drinking it, period. They're not liars. They're not those people. They don't sell things. Like, they're not those people.
Right.
And I thought to myself, if my friend Maddie and Brendan are doing this, like, it's actually real. Like, not to say it that way, but I am going to just use that, because we all conceptually have feelings like that. It's just true. If we were real with each other, we could sit in a circle and say, oh no, I know how you feel. And so I just looked at Bill and said, let's get, this is embarrassing, but I said, let's get 1 challenge box for $99 and let's share it, right? Like, that was actually ridiculous, because on day 5, we both just were like, let's order more, because ideally each human that tries this should get a box. But honestly, we tried something that we didn't even see coming. So thank you for coming to the call to at least get educated and to trust. You know Josh and Stacy from their platform, you know them as friends or just real people. And we're here to join them as real friends. I mean, it was just like a universe collided, I think, when we had the opportunity to connect with Josh and Stacy truthfully. And we felt that on so many different levels. I can honestly tell you, the community of Prove It is amazing, but just beyond, well, it's all amazing, but the technology of this drink is what's insane, because Prove It has figured out a technology which you can kind of rally it. It's much like a cell phone. Cell phones get better and better and better every couple of years, and you need to go get the new one, and it's a bigger screen and whatever, better camera. And Prove It has now created a packet that you literally can rip open, dump it in water, and it puts your body into the state of ketosis. So why would you want to have a flip phone anymore? Because you don't have to have a flip phone. You can go get a cell phone, which is amazing. And believe me, at Christmas time this year, the commercials are going to hit and you're going to want the next phone and all the new color cases and all the things. I mean, we just looked at each other and thought, I guess for what it's worth, we can try it and decide for ourselves. So your learning part is really important to us, because we felt the same way. We wanted to trust and learn. And I think once you're to this stage, I would honestly tell you, it's something that is just beyond what you can comprehend unless you actually have your own experience. The keto diet has been around for over 100 years. It was established and researched for people that have Alzheimer's and epilepsy. It virtually had nothing to do with weight loss, which is kind of crazy conceptually, but the keto diet is optimal fuel and an optimal source of energy and fuel for your brain. And that's solely amazing, because all of us grind through our days. We have too much on our plate. We're trying to do it all. We're busy parents, we're busy people. And believe me, when you fuel your brain with something that actually makes you feel present, that makes you feel clean, sustained energy, and you don't crash from that, it was crazy. The side effect, probably why many people show up to the call, and truthfully, it's okay to admit, is actually fat loss. And so what happens to you as a side effect of being in ketosis, right, is that you have this clean, well, first you have this clean fuel going to your brain. You're literally lit up like a Christmas tree. You feel absolutely amazing, better mood, less anxiety, like things just kind of, I said this to Josh, and I know he loves this point, and Stacy too, when we were with them. Like on day 4 of drinking it, I remember being at the grocery store, and it was like my list just went into like rows in my brain. And I didn't even need to look in my purse at my scribble note, like what I needed, what aisle it was in, whatever I wrote down. Like I finally, I had like a moment, I hadn't had it in so long. So when it came back to me, I felt so in charge of like being a mom and being me. I was like, I'm like me, like 20 years ago me, like 15 years ago me, whatever. And I crushed through my day and I felt good. So when Bill and I finally discussed with each other, we were like, this is ridiculous. I'm feeling it too. But the brain fuel, like I said, was the research for people that were Alzheimer's patients and epileptic patients. And what they found, right, is that they were linking our food source or a diet that people could kind of gravitate to and be on, which would be optimal so people didn't have those effects. What came out of the diet was that when we elevate our ketone blood levels, we are using our fat, and we all have it in all the places that you know you have it, but we're using that as our first fuel source. And so what's ridiculous is that through your journey, you'll feel amazing and you start to feel these things, and it doesn't come on at the same day, you know, for Scotty, as it might for James, as it did for Bill, as it does for me, as it did for Josh or Stacy. We can't compare notes so perfectly that way. So don't think of it like, oh, day 5, Bill felt all these things. Like yours might be day 8, yours might be day 3. But I will tell you, this drink is so easy to add consistently. We shake it up, we drink it up. We literally crush through our day. We don't have crashes. We feel like we're aging in reverse. And then after like a month, 2, 3, I was like, we would be out, or I would be putting on shorts or something, and I would be like, oh my God, like standing there, like pulling up shorts, like thinking, why are these loose? And then I was like, oh my God, this is kind of cool. My clothes are loose. And then 3 weeks later, I couldn't do that anymore because they were too big. So I thought, cool, I think I'm gonna get a new size shorts. And then it was just lose a size, lose a size, lose a size. The best part was we were exercising at that point, so we weren't losing muscle. In fact, the muscle seemed to kind of appear even more because the fat was just literally melting off. So we weren't crushing like, oh my gosh, we need to do like PX90 and like all these hard workouts, but we were trying to take on something that was the next level because we were feeling like superstars with the drink. But we realized like this is a secret weapon because the fat was melting off and the muscle was like kind of like, there it is again. So the physical piece is huge because we each look in the mirror every day at ourselves and we each kind of know maybe
There you go. There you go, Erica.
right?
We lost you for a second.
And no, there's no comparison. Okay, go ahead.
I'm just saying our internet's unstable apparently.
Can you guys hear
Can
me?
you hear us?
And now,
Yeah,
we just lost you for a second.
Yeah, you froze after you were saying something about the muscle and what you were doing. It just kind of froze for a second.
Okay, so yeah, so I think I went into, look, the muscle was like, it was kind of cool, like kind of, we were a little bit like geeked out on like, we felt pretty cool again because we felt like the body was kind of aging in reverse. And I mean, I'm just saying, like we were really building muscle again. Now that's a personal thing, right? You don't have to be worried about looking like a bodybuilder or getting muscle back or whatever. That's not the point at all. But believe me, you each may have a goal. And we just say add ketones and see where they take you, see how you feel, and see what starts to change in you. It is not a diet. You do not start drinking ketones and worry about everything you put in your mouth and what times you do it and how perfect you are. That is called the keto diet. The craziest part about this is this cute little sticker bottle is 1 pack of ketones with just a bottle of water from Walmart, Target, Dollar General, wherever. Flip in the water, put the cap on, shake up this drink, and literally within 1 hour, I'm in ketosis for 4 to 6 hours. This can go in my car holder, this can go in my grocery cart, this can go in my purse. I can take it on a walk. I mean, it's ridiculous at how easy it is, and you don't have to think twice or think hard about the keto diet. So again, 1 pack elevates your ketone blood levels, and it gets you into the state of ketosis, and then the drink just keeps you compliant because you become, I don't know, like you understand how you're listening to your body, you're not as hungry, you feel satiety, so you just eat a little bit less because you're just not as full. You make better choices because when you're full, you kind of just gravitate to lighter foods and simple sides and smaller portions. Your mood starts to elevate, you feel less stress and anxiety, your energy is clean and steady, your sleep is amazing. And then, like I said, the main side effect is fat loss. And if you are looking for a transformation that's a physical transformation, you have found something that absolutely works. We have so many testimonials. You could connect with Josh and Stacy, who will connect with us, or feel free if you're comfortable to add Bill Schultz or Erica Schultz as a Facebook friend. But through Josh and Stacy, we are happy to give you these testimonials, like people that are in our town, like 2 blocks away, that changed their physical appearance by drinking ketones for between 6 to 12 months. And so it's a simple lifestyle change. And if you're looking for better, like we just can't say enough about ketones. So
Yeah, just to kind of add on to that real quick, in Josh and Stacy's link tree, they're a part of a community called. All welcome to join that group.
1, 2, Josh and Stacy, plus 1.
What's that?
maybe somebody.
Oh, somebody just.
Nicole's not on mute.
Oh, I thought I was on mute. I'm sorry.
All good.
You're good.
No, you're good. When she started talking, or Bill, you started talking, she hit the beep like you said a curse word on CBS. If you go to Josh and Stacy's beep, 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 like wow, you're still not on mute, Nicole. You're still live, Nicole.
But anyways, you guys,
There you go.
you're all welcome to join the Better Bunch. There's some really good information in there, really good testimonials, really good people that you can contact outside of just the folks that are on the call with us here tonight. So what questions do you all have? We talked a lot.
Yeah, that's our problem. We can't stop shutting up about it. So let's go right to just common questions, and nothing is a dumb question. If you have any, don't be shy.
I'll throw a question out.
Don't be shy.
Sounds good, James.
So with the drinks, how does it work with your diet? You said you don't, because my rudimentary understanding of keto is that it can be a little complicated. I've tried some of that in the past. So with this, it puts you in ketosis. Do you have to do any other adjustments to your diet?
You do have to do adjustments, but they happen like in this kind of most natural, organic way. But yes, we will not discount the fact that clearly you can't be crushing fast food, chocolate cake, ice cream every night, right? Okay, nor will you actually, not to scare you, but I'm gonna tell you the real truth. You will not want any of those things, because when your ketone blood levels elevate, like your body is already running off of a fuel source. And so those little taste buds and those little feelings about you, like feeling like, oh my gosh, smell the pizza, smell the French fries, I need ice cream. I mean, truthfully, you will still want to have those foods on the now and then. They don't just disappear from your life, right? You've got memories of them. They're special around holidays. They're special around days of the week. If it's a pizza night or this or that, you just kind of know Thursday pizza night, whatever. But listen, you will change so naturally gravitating away. But how you actually should optimize your experience is by, we just say this, try to prioritize protein, which is simply not hard. Steak, chicken, salmon, any of those good protein sources. And then we just say, try to minimize carbs. And truthfully, when you start not craving carbs, like you will kind of freak yourself out. You will not want a baked potato. You will seriously even see it on the menu and you'll think, that sounds ginormous. Or like, that sounds like full or heavy, like whatever the word is. So you'll say to the waiter or waitress, I'll take the T-bone, medium, whatever, and I'll have the broccoli, and then I'll have like a side salad. And you get your plate and it's almost daunting sometimes, like I have to actually eat all this because you're just not as full. So it is true. Yes, you will gravitate away from carbs and sugars, and you should try to do your best. Okay, James? But this, since you were a young guy, listen, sugars are not good for you, and nor are carbs. And so it's not really you becoming trying. Well, I guess you do try, but it's not like you've known this your whole life. Now you put in a secret weapon in your mouth that literally takes you off of those foods, and so you don't want them. So Bill and I simply say, prioritize protein, minimize carbs, and just do you. Do not miss the, family reunion, and please have, the French fries and onion rings and potatoes at the family reunion. Yes, you should. Your aunt is going to make the casserole. You love that casserole. It was your grandma's recipe. You should totally crush that casserole. But listen, that's not your everyday, right? So all of the next days, you will literally have this little secret weapon in you, and you'll just do your best. So just stick away from carbs and sugars. That's just the bottom line, as best you can. They hide in a lot of foods, by the way. Yogurt, granola bars, it's crazy.
Yeah, I'll tell you, James. So when I started, I think it was May 28th, I think it was my first day. When Bill and Erica came down July the 16th, that morning we went to brunch. I had avocado toast. That was my first legit carb since May 28th. Not because I didn't want it or didn't diet it or whatever. I just didn't want it. Like, we literally sat there at breakfast in Belmont, and I was cutting through this avocado toast, and I'm like, this is my first piece of bread.
And we all had bread left.
Like, they had avocado toast, and there was toast left over. Avocado toast, it goes together. But they ate their avocado. Weirdos. They're weirdos. We're weirdos. I'm weirdos now too. But that was my first bread, like my first carb.
Not really trying.
I just didn't. Weird. It's bizarre. It's so hard to explain what this drink does. It's insane. It's absolutely insane.
Well, I was going to say, this aligns really well with sort of the health practices I already do. So sign me up. I'll give it a shot. I'm willing to give everything a whirl. I've got to jump. Yeah. But Josh, Stacy, connect with me offline and
for sure.
We got you.
Okay.
Thanks, James.
Thanks, James.
And Bill, thank you for answering my question.
Pleasure to meet you, James. Have a good night.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Yeah, I agree with you, Josh. It is hard to explain. And that's why I always say, look, do yourself a favor, invest in yourself, and just try the 10-day experience. I can try to explain to you what that feeling is when you're in ketosis. Josh can try, Erica can try. We're having some technical difficulties, which is why I'm on my phone. I'm trying to get some other folks who are interested in joining the conversation as well on. But it is hard to explain. And until you actually experience it for yourself and you have that feeling of, how like when you have, and I know some of the folks on the TikTok are like, oh, I do Bang drinks or I do Pepsi. And it's like, yeah, wow, like talk about a total up the roller coaster than a total. This is a clean energy. This is an unbelievable feeling, and it's not a feeling of like euphoria, but it's a feeling of clarity.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty close.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to explain. And so I was just saying, look, and I told Josh this. I didn't know Josh on a personal level. We just engaged with them because we just love their TikToks. It's just good, wholesome fun. And there's just a lot of similarities that we have with them. And so I just reached out to them and said, look, give this a try. And Josh was kind of skeptical. And I'm like, no, look, just try it. give me a call in 20 days and just tell me how you feel. But I guarantee you that if you get this, if you literally can shake it up and get this down your esophagus, you're gonna feel great. And it didn't take 20 days. I think Josh mentioned that. I think it was like 3-4 days later.
Here we are.
It took 3 days. And Bill, in his infinite wisdom and super hilarity, said, Josh, as serious as he could, I told you to call me in 20 days. And I said, I don't know what this is. I don't know why I feel like this. And it's very hard for me to put into words, but I want to be a part of whatever this is. I want to continue to do it. I want to continue to tell other people. And he said, again, it's the 3rd day, but okay. I knew you would say that. We just wanted you to try it. And
Those are the stories we're getting now with people we're sharing it with, which is amazing.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, Stacy, like we virtually, it is absolutely truthfully humbling when people come forward and, you know, they say all things to us. They say so-and-so was pre-diabetic and they went to the doctor and their numbers are totally lower. Like ketones have already significantly changed their path for their health. They're sleeping better. Of course, the weight shift is quite significant. Again, that's something that is self-image. That's something that is mental health for people. That's something that's been a vice for them for a long time, for many years of their life. And male or female both, like it's not fun when you know you are carrying extra weight and you can't shake it. And you can't.
Depression, sleeping, like it's amazing. I think that's what's so amazing is everyone's story and everyone's journey is different.
Yeah.
But it's all amazing. It's just what they needed it for.
Yeah. It's a and the side effect is the word. I mean, you hear side effects all the time. It's always a negative.
These are good side effects.
These are great side effects. I mean, fat loss. Side effect is fat loss. Well, that's a good thing. Side effect is better sleep. Good thing. Side effect, all these things. So, you know,
I will say to that point, Josh.
Yeah, I would love to hear some, you know, if you guys have some questions or, you know, whatever, I would think it would be anything in depth. Obviously, Erica, you go, but like if you guys have some science questions or whatever, like
for Bill and Erica.
For Bill and Erica, not for me, because I'm not going to answer the science questions.
I know Samantha has to drop off, but she is still on, and she asked a question about what kind of things do you eat in your diet. I've had a hard time with things I drink more than things I eat. So that's kind of I'm not exactly sure what the question is per se, but there's a few different things in there that are worth touching on. First of all, you know, Erica did touch on the eating things. We prioritize proteins, low carb, low sugar. Is that a requirement when you drink ketones? Not necessarily. This will help curb your appetite for sugar, help curb your appetite for carbs, because you don't need those any longer as a fuel source. Ketones are a fuel source, so you don't actually need them. And so and again, super hard to explain. You have to experience it, but we got avocado on toast for breakfast with Josh and Stacy. We ate the avocado, little bits and pieces of the toast, but because your body just doesn't really care for it. So just prioritize your protein. We eat a lot of vegetables.
Yeah, to get specific with your question, Samantha, I usually in the morning have like a protein yogurt. It's just a yogurt that has a lot of grams of protein. Watch out for yogurts. They're wicked crazy. There's so many carbs and sugars in yogurts and fruity flavors and things, and you think they're healthy or Greek or this or that, but then turn that label over and you're like, wow. So I think ours is an Oikos brand. We eat a lot of eggs, of course, a protein. We do have our healthy fats. We will insert bacon, sausage. We don't eat a lot of fruits, but we do eat fruits. Like I'm not trying to be like, you can't ever have fruit. No. I mean, we know that that's a carb. Apples are 25 carbs. A banana is like 27 carbs. I mean, it's insane, right? Like you think like, well, I'll just have a banana, but that's a lot of carbs. So we don't do a lot of fruits particularly. So we just kind of simplify breakfast with like a meat and an egg, all sources of vegetables mixed into that, whether it's an omelet, scrambled eggs, just adding some cheese and vegetables to just plain old scrambled eggs. And then we eliminate breakfast potatoes of any kind. Lunch is very simple. I'll roll up salami. I'll roll up salami over a string cheese. We'll do pepperoni bites. We'll do a salad, avocado, grilled chicken breast, like, you know how to simplify these good, healthy meals. And I'm rarely hungry for lunch. So to be more specific, like, I don't think about lunch. I don't think that lunch is coming, and I don't think, oh my gosh, what am I gonna eat for lunch? Like, lunch almost passes, and I look at my watch and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like 2:15. Like, I missed lunch. Or did I? Like, we don't have, just because it's like bingo, noon, lunchtime, like the whistle blows and you all have to go eat lunch, like you really don't. If your body is satiated and burning off of a clean fuel source, you do not need to go through a drive-through or a sub place or something for lunch. Like, I'll take string cheese or almonds and be perfectly full, like stuffed full. So I'll have a ketone a few hours before lunch. Late morning, I'll have a ketones between 9 and 10. And then I'll have a ketones between 2 or 3 in the afternoon. When I get to dinner, I'm so hungry for dinner, and you will be hungry. We're not trying to tell you like you won't like let go of food. No, like, you have to eat food. It's nutrition. It's all of your vitamins and minerals. And so yes, you're gonna eat food, but we just make such clean choices. Grilled, some version of a meat, grilled chicken breast, for example, and a side of asparagus. You guys had a great meal last week on your TikTok live, and I think Stacy didn't love it, but, and I wonder what he did as a little glaze on that, but I know Josh made salmon and what did you have, broccoli, out of a bag.
Salmon, no, it was, no. No.
Yeah, I called
She
you
made
out.
fun of me for that. They were
I told the
Brussels, they
truth.
were steamed Brussels sprouts
Yeah.
and
In
salmon
a bag.
in a bag, but
It's
that
okay. It's better than what I can do.
I sauteed them suckers last night though. Last night wasn't out of a bag.
I think, and Samantha's gone, but I think as much as drinks go, like, I like beer. And I have found that is not the same. I don't feel like I want that the same. So I think that's the point, is you just have to try it, and you don't even mean to.
Yeah, you don't
It's not
mean
like
to
you're
try to-
saying, I'm taking this away, I'm taking this away. Just see what your body does.
And you can still.
you just don't want those bad things in your life. It's easier to not do those anymore.
Or you don't try.
You don't try. That's a thing. You're not trying to cut out.
That's
It's not
the
a
easy
diet.
thing.
It's an easy thing that you don't have to try to not want to get that. So.
And the greater thing is like, you actually don't even miss it. So you don't even feel like you have to be excusey or not yourself, or that you're weird, or that you have to explain it to people. I mean, trust me, your friends will wonder like why you're not ordering your normal Budweiser or whatever it might be. But if you're okay with not ordering your Budweiser, if you don't want one, that's pretty much all that matters if you really think about it. But beyond that, like, when you feel better and you feel amazing, like, you truly just do you. Like, that's how it happened for us. So
Stacy made fun of me 2 times going to dinner when I ordered a burger with a lettuce bun. She does not make fun of me anymore.
That's awesome.
You don't feel bloated. You don't get the carbs. You still are full. You still can have that burger with all that stuff, but you can have it with a lettuce bun or no bun. And you just don't want that. I don't walk out of a restaurant anymore feeling bloated and gross and, like we all feel.
That's
And I'm cool with that.
so true. What other questions do we have?
That lovely little baby right there is my favorite nephew.
Aw.
ask who that little bugaboo was.
And my
You
awesome,
look so happy to be here.
and my awesome sister-in-law in Florida.
Oh, awesome.
Yay, Florida.
Yeah, what other questions do you have? Scotty, do you have any questions? Not to put you on the spot.
No, so I think, jumping in, not knowing anything, like you said, never trying to do the keto diet, never wanting to be a part of that trend per se. I mean, when it first came out, I was at the sheriff's office, and let me tell you, you get a bunch of guys all in one little circle and talk about some trends. One guy did it, the whole force had to do it. Well, most of them couldn't sustain it. they couldn't last 3 days. They wouldn't give it a chance. But I heard you specifically say, with the ketones and everything, you mentioned the liver. My question would be, throughout sustaining that ketosis for so long, is there any harm that you're doing to any other, your heart, or, by the changes that you're making? Is there any downfall when it comes to the rest of your organs or any part of your body?
Yeah, I mean, I would actually say the opposite probably is more harmful. When you're born, you're actually born in the state of ketosis. So, just naturally speaking, our body, and I think there's science evidence of such, our body prefers to be fueled by ketones versus carbs and sugar. It's just that our diet through the years of, the food pyramid, and through the years of marketing, and through the years of just knowing that, hey, sugar is an addictive property, carbohydrates can be an addictive property, that and oh, by the way, if you're addicted to something, you're probably going to buy something more often. And so there's a lot of marketing behind the food that we actually put in our body. I mean, just Google, like, what is the #1 death in America? I'm pretty sure number 1 or 2 is heart disease. Well, why is that? Right? And so, no, as far as I know, now, again, I'm not a scientist or a doctor. I don't believe that putting your body into ketosis is going to have a negative effect, or by consuming. And this wasn't always the case. When Prove It was created 6 years ago, they were still fine-tuning the technology. There were some synthetics in the product back then to help bind the ketones to actually have the uptake to your brain. It's no longer the case. The product is 100% natural. So there are no chemicals. There's no, things that are in the ketone drink, the supplement, that are not natural. So that's probably the best way to answer it. The thing that I'll say about the keto diet, and again, I'm not an expert, I don't do the keto diet. I would say I maybe do like dirty keto, or keto light, or keto 2.0. Like, I could probably call it a million different things, only because I eat low carb, low sugar. We don't eat a ton of high fats. If you really dissect the keto diet, if you really follow the rules, there's a lot of high fats that you should be consuming. I would almost say, and again, not being a doctor, not being an expert, but when I look at that, I'm like, I'm pretty sure that a high fat diet, depending upon which fats you choose, could result in, some cardiovascular issues, some heart disease issues, and things like that. So I would almost say that this may be even better, because you're not forcing all of those high fats into your system. And protein and vegetables, obviously you can throttle on. So
and your body uses the ketones it uses, and then you excrete, or pee out the ketones you don't, right, as waste. You would have to drink, I think it's 72 packs in a day for it to be ketoacidosis, for it to be like overkill for your body to process.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah, stop at 71 packs if you're gonna have a hell of a lot. No, I mean, you would never get there, right? Like, we drink, truth be told, Bill and I drink sometimes 3 or 4 packs a day. Why? Well, because we have a lot of them in our pantry, and it becomes fun to kind of have that after 13 months, right? You have more than you need because they kind of add up. But I mean, really, your main question just regarding like the safety and whatnot for your body to really, you're putting something in and you kind of think like, well, is this safe, right? It is 100% all natural. Again, to reiterate, Prove It is the only company that has 9 United States patents on the product. It was available prior to Prove It having the patent to the US Navy SEALs, which is pretty incredible. And it was just not, it was not a model or a product that was a consumable for civilians. Like, it was untouchable. And so when the patent was purchased for this company to launch and to create ketones to share them with the world, the patents came into it. Prove It is the only company that has those, and that raises your ketone blood levels to the highest measurable level, which you can do on like a keto blood meter. You can use urine strips, but we recommend testing your blood when your ketones are present. And nobody else can compete with getting your body to test that many ketones and to be in that measurable nutritional ketosis, it's called, within 1 hour, that can keep you there for 4 to 6 hours. Now, I bet you within the next years, every Costco, every Walmart, Target, whoever is going to have ketones on their end cap. And there's a lot of these that are coming up like on Facebook ads and things of that sort, right? And we know the internet is a pretty big place to find anything you want. But people will definitely try other ketones and then they say, well, they didn't work for, ketones didn't work. They didn't work for me. Well, why didn't they work for you? What did, oh, well, I used like whatever kind of ketones. Well, compared to Prove It, it only put their body into 40% ketosis. It was $2 less a pack or $1.50 less a pack. And so they went for price, but they didn't get out of it what Prove It promises that you'll get out of it. So anyways, to answer your question, it is safe. And we are most proud, which we didn't even see this part coming because clearly we just had to believe in it for ourselves and try them, which is the first part that's important for you or anybody that's on this call. See for yourself and try them. The education we got and how proud we were that we found Prove It was like the icing on the cake because we know the science and we know the community, and that's the coolest part. So yeah, you can feel really good about trying ketones and you can feel really good about trying Prove It's ketones because we're so educated on them, and you'll be connected to resources within our community, the Facebook groups, the Better Bunch, which we've mentioned, and then Experience Ketones, and you may be a part of that already if Josh and Stacy have invited you. And there are doctor videos.
Sure, he's on it.
Yeah, there are doctor videos that are linked.
Great.
Experience Ketones, and it's a world of information for you to type your health and wellness questions in. It's truly the encyclopedia or the Bible as a resource for you by just using the search bar and any health and wellness word or topic, diabetes, thyroid, arthritis, heart, just anything, you get how to use a search bar, and then you're taken to a video and some information. Prove It leads with education, and that's amazing.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
You bet. Somebody had asked earlier about how to get started. Probably the easiest way to get started. We had talked about the 10-day Drink Ketones challenge. It's actually a 20-day experience if you just start off by doing one a day. Right on Stacy and Josh's link tree. So it's just linktr.ee/Stacy_Josh. It's also available on their TikTok profile. If you hit their link tree, the second menu item down is try the 10-day Drink Ketone challenge. You just hit that link and order the challenge box. The one thing, so just 2 comments on that. I personally think that's the best way to start. It's a variety of flavors. The ketones come in a caffeinated version and then a caffeine-free version. We refer to it as a charged version, which has the caffeine, and then an uncharged, which is caffeine-free. So just be aware that the challenge box has half of them are charged and half of them are uncharged. It's worth noting that the caffeinated ones are not like a super caffeine induced product. It literally has the equivalent amount of caffeine that a cup of coffee does. Mm-hmm. And both have the same effect. They both put you in the state of ketosis. People who are like soda drinkers or drink a ton of coffee throughout the day and are trying to wean themselves off of some of those sugary caffeinated beverages, jumping into a ketone that has some caffeine in them will help with that. But the 10-day Drink Ketones challenge is probably the best place to start. I always tell people to go ahead and grab 2 boxes right away. That way you're only paying the shipping once. Because why? Because there's 30 days in a month, and a box of ketones, which comes with 20 packs, isn't going to get you through a full month. So I would start with grabbing 2 and then just throw 1 box in your Smart Ship cart. The Smart Ship cart is just what gets delivered to you on a monthly basis at that discounted rate of $99 per box. Otherwise, a box of ketones just off the shelf through Prove It is $130. So you do get that upfront savings by jumping into the link on Stacy and Josh's link tree for the 10-day challenge. The only other thing that we try to do some education around, you don't have to completely geek out on this when you first start, but just know that you are going to want to introduce an electrolyte on the daily basis as well. Super simple. You can literally grab a Powerade Zero. You can go to most big box like a Sam's or a Walmart or a Costco and grab, a 24 pack of Powerade Zero at a pretty decent price per bottle. Mm-hmm. So at a minimum, do that. We say Powerade Zero, no sucralose, no sugar, no like weird chemicals. The Gatorades have sucralose in them, I believe. They also have some weird dyes in them. So that's another reason why we say Powerade. You can actually do nature's best electrolyte and just grab a pinch of pink Himalayan salt. Just pop that into a bottle of water, or even just a pinch on the daily basis. The reason why you want to introduce an electrolyte, and it's an important concept, is because when you are in ketosis, your body has a sodium, magnesium, potassium imbalance. It's just what the state of ketosis does to the human body. And you just counteract that by consuming an electrolyte. Pruvit has an amazing enhanced electrolyte called Mitoplex. It's a box of 30 for $38.22. When I have time to sit down with people and help them with the order, I always at least educate them on that, because it is a pretty amazing product. And I usually just say throw that in your cart as well. But if you're looking to just start to feel better and to jump into this whole game of putting your body into ketosis and getting all the benefits of that, the safest place to start is just jump into the 10-day drink ketone challenge.
Yeah, and you can always add and become in tune with more products and kind of get into the store and look around and ask Josh and Stacy, or they'll connect you to us. And it's not a huge store. Like, you don't feel like you're on Amazon and you're overwhelmed with choices. It's pretty streamlined, but you certainly don't know the things, and the ketones are most important for you at first.
That's right.
But you really
we've done all three of those. So we've done the Mitoplex. That's easy. You put it in with your shaker bottle and you put it in with your ketones. That's easy. You drink it once. You don't have to go get your Powerade, Zero.
I have to do that because I'm not great at the rest.
I've done the Powerade Zero. I can do that. So really, 1 ketones, 1 electrolyte. I also have the big bag of pink Himalayan salt. So we've literally done all three of them. It really just depends on the time, what if you'd rather drink the Powerade Zero, grape flavor or blue flavor, whatever it is, and you're good with that, then you don't need the Mitoplex. If you'd rather do the pink Himalayan salt because the bag lasts longer, you can do that. Some people don't like that taste. I don't really, some people don't like water, first off, but you could put the pink Himalayan salt in there. The easiest thing to do, and it's is the Mitoplex. Put it in there, put the shaker bottle in, and you're done for the day. So
the Mitoplex that Josh just was mentioning and Bill mentioned, they have it flavored, but it's unflavored, what we're referring to. So when the electrolyte has no flavor, it comes in a little tiny tube. We'll open our pack of ketones and we'll put it in our bottle. And then I just rip open my little tube of Mitoplex and I put it in the same bottle. So it's killing 2 birds with 1 stone, right? Like, I'm drinking my ketones. My electrolyte is a powder, which is in the same bottle. And then I just shake that up and it's 2 in 1. But at first, it's okay if that doesn't go in your cart. You're still going to feel great and you're going to drink Powerade Zero. And then in a month, maybe you might say, I'd like to try the Mitoplex. And they probably might have an inventory, or we certainly do. And we mail out samples for people before they commit to a box of 30. So, but that's kind of the basic of the product. The NAT, Keto OS NAT is ketones. It's pure therapeutic ketones. They have a Pro, and then they have another product called Keto Up, which is a carbonated beverage, which puts your body into ketosis. It's in 10 minutes. These are just peripheral couple of extra products that when you want to get creative and be in your cart and switch your products out, they might be something fun for you to try. But otherwise, you're just really concentrating on the ketones.
What else?
Thank you.
Good questions.
Everybody's feeling good at this point?
Naked baby.
Awesome.
Yeah, thank y'all so much for joining. Scotty,
really
thank you so much.
appreciate it.
Nicole,
I know everybody's
PJ's
busy,
on.
so we appreciate you guys jumping on.
Becky O, thank y'all so much for joining. Reach out to us, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, text, whatever you guys have for us. If you have any questions, again, Bill and Erica are really just our, our resource.
We're gonna send you though to all those Facebook pages. they spoke about, because they are so helpful and they have so much
Recipes
information.
and info and all of that. I mean, Bill and
Yeah.
Eric are a huge resource for us. I didn't speak on a TikTok or to people as good as I have been in the last couple of weeks without their help. And
we
without
still
how we
only
feel.
speak
And
a
I
little
still
bit
only
because
speak a
they
little
just
bit.
know.
Yeah, that's
But we don't.
What's up, baby?
So that's totally cool. So I did record this session, you guys, so I'm gonna upload it to YouTube. And then if anybody does connect to you all on TikTok or in any other social media platform and wants a copy of the recording, I'll send you guys the link so you can shoot it off to them. But yeah, to your point, the Better Bunch is an amazing Facebook group, a lot of good testimonials, a lot of good information, a lot of amazing inspiration. Look, there are people that are on this journey with us. A lot of them, quite frankly, if they weren't friends of ours to start with, they become really good friends of ours through just staying in close contact and following, you know, sort of the lifestyle of pursuing better, kind of like what Erica's shirt says. And so the Better Bunch is an amazing people. We're admins in there. Josh and Stacy are part of that community. And you know, everybody in there is willing and able to just jump in on any questions you have. Experience Ketones is another group that has a lot of the doctor videos, a lot of really good science information about drinking ketones. So we can get you in there. And then, yeah, any other questions you all have? The community of within Prove It's amazing. Just a lot of really helpful, like-minded folks that are just pursuing better. And so we're happy to share all that information with you all. So
I'm gonna give one person the floor. You have 2 minutes, Melissa. And that you have to keep it to 2 minutes because we're gonna close. These are the closing remarks, but I'd like to introduce Melissa Reese. She's been a part of Prove It for, I think it's just over 3 years. And Melissa also didn't know what this drink was at all before a good friend reached out and told her, and it significantly changed her life. So do you just want to take us out and close it out, Melissa, just with your personal story, and keep it short, 2 minutes?
Got it. So sorry I'm late to the show. My name's Melissa. I'm 48. I live in New Holstein, Wisconsin, and I own the local hardware store. I have been drinking and sharing ketones for 3 years. Well, 3 years ago, I was a completely different person. I was burned out, no energy. I work a lot of hours, like 80 hours every week, every day I work. So I was kind of desperate for something, knowing that there had to be something more out of life. So along came ketones, just like everyone, super skeptical, but I thought, what do I have to lose? I'm going to try them. So I tried them. Day 2, lit up like a Christmas tree. Oh yeah, and before this, I told the person that got me started, I will never share. I will never tell anyone. I just want to feel better. Within a week, I couldn't keep my mouth shut. I felt so obligated to share that I just figured everyone needed to feel as good as I did. So my personal wins are I haven't been to urgent care in 3 years for my migraines. That is huge. My face is brighter. I feel like I look younger. I probably only lost about 10 pounds, but yet I put muscle on. But my mood and mindset have been probably the biggest factor that has been for me. And then, like Bill and Erica said, the people that you're meeting along the way, the community, I'm surrounding myself with better people that are wanting what I want that I didn't even know I wanted until I started drinking ketones. That's it.
you're amazing, Melissa. Thank you.
Thank you, Melissa.
Cool. Well,
Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. Thank you, Josh and Stacy, for shedding some light and the opportunity to learn about ketones. We're happy to be here.
Thank
Yeah,
you guys
Thank
so
y'all
much.
very much. Thank y'all very much. Later.
Thanks, Melissa.
Thanks,
Thanks,
guys.
Melissa.
Stay well.
Yep. Later.
Bye.
Bye.